volleyball for Team Canada, aspiring to compete in the 2012 Olympic Games. Athlete entrepreneur. I do some modeling on the side, all kinds of volunteer work with kids, just trying to inspire people throughout Canada and the world, and do my best to make a living at it.
All right, man of many talents. So we know that you're heading towards the 2012 Olympics in London. I'm wondering if you might tell viewers what that's going to take, like what the path is.
Right now I'm full-time training in Toronto with the national team. We have the #1 ranking on the continent right now. So last year I won with another partner the Continental Cup. We beat Cuba in the finals in what was called the Golden Set. It was like a Davis Cup. 2 teams from each country play each other. We won 2, the other Canadian team lost 2, so we played a sudden death match to 15 and won that one, so that was pretty big. So we're ranked #1 on the continent. Going into the last Continental Cup phase, we maintain that rank, we win that tournament, and Canada earns a berth. From there, Canadian teams need to compete to win and take that berth forward. So it's not necessarily our berth, however, we need to win the Canadian spot as well as the continental spot to move into the Olympics. So there's a couple big time tournaments ahead, and that's all going to end like early July, and the Olympics are late July. So we're going to find out pretty late whether we make it or not.
Wow, that's momentous, man.
Yeah.
So you're in Toronto. Can you tell us a bit what your life's like in Toronto these days?
Pretty hectic, actually. Fashion Week just ended, so in and out with different agencies, hanging out, meeting amazing people. There's a brand new club that just opened up called Spin Toronto, which is a ping pong club. Working with the owner, GM, just hanging out there, literally working on my ping pong game. Training full time, so I train about 3 hours a day in the gym. We're not in the sand yet. We'll start in November, but I'm doing a lot of yoga, hot yoga challenge, and we're just now working with Jana, who is ahead of the Maple Leaf, Argonauts, and Blue Jays yoga. She wants a part of the Olympic Games, so she's teaching us exclusively. Other than that, always trying to look at getting sponsors and marketing, making videos for my sponsors, blogging. Probably a couple other things that I'm forgetting in there, but it's pretty full. Every day is jam-packed, and certainly never a dull moment.
It doesn't seem like it. So I know that for the last few years you've been on a pro beach volleyball circuit, which means that you travel a lot. And in your time as a pro beach volleyball player, I'm sure you've had many experiences where you've just had to pinch yourself because it's just been so surreal. And I'm wondering if you might share with us one of those moments when you just couldn't believe that this was your life.
Absolutely. The one that comes to mind was my first time down in Brazil. I was training underneath the 2 brothers on Ipanema Beach, and Buddy just came down with 2 coconuts that were like super chilly. Just drinking those, and there was gunshots in the background from the favelas up on the twin brothers. Sunset was incredible. It was just a mix of so many different worlds and a brand new culture and a language I totally didn't understand at that point in time. And just like kind of first time really being outside of Canada and realizing, holy smokes, I'm here to hit a volleyball over a net, but really I'm in a totally different world. And that was the start of it, for sure. And there's been a lot of moments since then.
I'm sure, man. It sounds totally epic. So you and I share a home. We're both from the Comox Valley in beautiful British Columbia, Canada. Do you miss home?
Since I was 17, I've been traveling, like going to college, going to university, and then at the age of 21, traveling full-time for beach volleyball. I've learned to adapt. I've never been homesick once. There's always a time and a place for home, and I miss my family dearly, but life's taking me on a journey all around the world, and I have to adapt to where I need to be. So I call myself a 21st century nomad. However, that's changed. So I now have a full-time residence in Toronto. That started October 1st. So full-time here for the first time in a few years, which is neat. Being committed to a place, being grounded, and it's allowing for new opportunities. That's for sure. So I've never really missed home. It's, like I said, it has a time and a place. Mount Washington, snowboarding there is incredible, but life's taken me so many different places, and I always just accept where I am and make the most of it.
Wow, that's big, man. I'm sure a lot of people can learn from what you just said. Now, I know like one of those places that your life is taking you is into a budding modeling career. Can you tell people a little bit about that? Life as a male model?
Oh, life as a male model. It's tough, I tell you. It's so funny. I have a stylist, so he fully takes care of my look per se. Right now, I'm just looking at different agencies in Toronto, seeing which ones can really represent what I'm going for. Because I'm not necessarily, I'm 6'7", so I'm not really model material. However, I know it's a huge part of being an Olympian and being marketable. So I want to pursue it. So having goals to be a role model in Canada, I really believe I need to be in front of people or being in photographs. So there's a lot to represent, and I'm just finding the right person right now in Toronto who can represent the athletic side, the public speaking, motivational speaking, and the actual model or H&M or Gap or Ford modeling, whatever it may be.
Okay, great. Now I know you're also huge into the night scene. You're a big fan of music and the clubs and all that. So what's playing in your iPod right now?
Right now, I actually had a friend from the UK, pretty amazing DJ, Chris Lake. He's pretty pumping. He's got some good jams out. A gentleman by the name of Morgan Page. He's down in the States. He's always got jams that are getting me. A couple different remixes. A brand new one by Lupe Fiasco, which is pretty incredible, but I forget the name. I was just listening to it. Off the charts. Honestly, I listen to a lot of podcasts, and they just kind of feed me brand new music. So I'm not up in terms of the names, but certainly the Morgan Page podcast gets me going. And Michael Woods, he's pretty big in the UK as well. I met him on tour, and he's got amazing music, big electro tracks that I like to pair up with my volleyball videos.
Right on. All right, Martin, I've got kind of a funny question for you. So there are two coconuts on an island. One's you. Who's the other one?
I gotta say my mom. Oddly enough.
The guy.
Yeah. No, honestly, like my mom and I are so similar. She played professional tennis. I'm cut from the same cloth. I talk every day, just so super connected to my family. And yeah, that other coconut would be my mom for sure.
That's great, man. I'm sure she'll be glad to hear it. So, if there's one thing that you want viewers to know, what would that be?
I just did a large speech last week in front of a bunch of kids. Drove 3.5 hours to talk for 15 minutes. And it was essentially just lead your passion. I'm lucky enough that I found it early. In fact, I saw beach volleyball when I was in grade 6. And since then, I've been dreaming of it. Somehow I'm here right now. But essentially, I've been leading my passion my whole life. And I'm healthy, I'm energetic, and every day I'm excited to pursue my dream. And it's essentially because every day I wake up to live my passion. And so I recommend finding your passion. Don't really know how to do that, but find it, chase it, lead it, and get after it.
Oh man, that's huge. So where can people follow you, like keep up with your story? We're interested in what you're doing and where you're going and keeping up to date with your Olympic bid. Can you tell us where we can connect with you?
Sure. My name is martinreeder.ca. So my website is pretty full on, updating my blog a little bit more now. Twitter, pretty active on that, and it's Martin J. Reeder. Other than that, it's all pretty localized on my website. Yeah, you can keep in touch there, and Facebook will be starting a new group with my new partner, which will be Binstock and Reeder. But check out my website. We got everything on there.
Okay, perfect. We'll do that. So I just want to thank you so much for your time and for being here today. We'll keep posted on updates, and we wish you all the best.
Thanks a lot. It's great to be here. Awesome initiative.